Are you gonna watch?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I am recommending what I would get if I were a beginner again.
Doing tool tips?
Well,
Oh, your toolbox talk.
my toolbox talk? That's a pretty good one. My Baker toolbox talk. Hi everyone, it's Sweeter Things Cookies. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I thought I'd take you through some of the items that I really wish I knew about when I was first starting my journey. I think they will make your life so much easier if you are starting to decorate cookies. These are definitely the products I think you should invest in to get the best quality outcome for your sugar cookie journey. So the first thing that I would say that you need to get yourself if you're looking at using royal icing and you want to use colors would be this clear imitation vanilla. We all love pure vanilla, it's definitely the best, but I use that in my cookies and I use this clear vanilla in my icing. The reason for it is because when you use, it's going everywhere, but when you use the brown vanilla, it can cause your icing, the powdered sugar, to take on a little bit of that brownish color, versus when you have a product like this that's clear vanilla extract. This and this Wilton white icing color are magic together. They will make your icing snow white, and that will be the best base possible, just for white icing generally, but also for any colors that you want to make your cookies with. So these two items, if you're looking to really get your colors poppin', are key. The other thing that you really want to look into when it comes to the coloring of your icing is making sure you're getting quality dye. So I never use the grocery store dye that you find in the baking aisle. I always use color gel. These are the Wilton ones. They have so many different colors, but these are what I always use in my royal icing. A little bit does go a long way with these, so you want to be careful if you are gonna get it, how much you actually use. So you can see here, that's the lid, and this would make your icing like dark blue. Only a little bit is needed when you're using these in your icing, but I find that the brightness that this gel coloring gives you is stunning. So I've always used these. Key to having those bright, like shiny cookies that you want in the end for the royal icing on your sugar cookies. So moving on from actually getting the color from your icing, two products for flooding that I think are the most important are a turnstile table, just one of these. It makes flooding your cookies so much easier and so much faster. It helps with the outlining, with specific details. It just is really efficient, and I think you'll find it really useful in your flooding journey to just have one of these that you can spin instead of trying to mix and move your cookie around on your counter or whatever space that you're using. And the other thing is scribes. I call them scribes. I don't know if that's what they're called. They look like this. Sorry about my hand covered in my gel color I just showed you. These are really important for when you are flooding your icing after mixing. If you don't let it sit enough, you can have air bubbles actually show up in your icing even when it's in the bag and flooded. So you'll find that there's little bubbles that can sometimes come up in your cookie when it's wet or when it's dried. That's because the air needs to get out. So these scribes can help you to do that. If you just right into where that's happening, they will help to get rid of those bubbles, but also they're really useful for getting your flooding right to the outline. If you don't want to flood right on top of the outline, it can help with smoothing a little bit and just the consistency overall. As well as if you're looking at getting a little bit more advanced, these tools can help with wet on wet icing and creating certain designs. So I like to invest in a couple of them. They're super cheap. They're useful to have different ones so you're not mixing icing colors when you're working with a bunch of them. So I would say invest in these. You can also use toothpicks. I used that for a long time, but I think that they're worth getting. The next product I didn't actually know. I mean, I'm sure I knew that it existed, but I didn't really think to look for it until like literally a year ago. And it's an edible ink marker. There we go. This was something that I picked up, I think I just found it online. and it has been so useful in adding extra details to my cookies once they're already iced. But you can use it for a couple of things. So it has a felt tip, which if it will focus, it wants to focus on my face. What do you know? There we go. It has the felt side, and this side, when I've used it, I tend to use it on the actual cookie itself if I want to outline where I think the icing needs to end so that a different icing color can start when flooding. But this is the side. Oh, ha 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 ha. Joke's on me. This is the side that is super useful. The tip. This is great for adding the details or even adding some writing on cookies. I did onesies once that were little bees and I didn't have an edible marker, and I will tell you, I would have died to have one of these that day. It took me forever to do them. So if you're interested in like drawing on your cookies for little details, like balloon strings is often what I use it for, little wings, eyes on cookies, highly recommend investing in one of these. That is all of the products I think I'd recommend as a beginner for my starter kit. I think my journey to cookies would have been so much easier if I had have known that these things existed from the get-go. But you live and you learn, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you pick up anything and if it makes a difference for you on your cookie journey. And like, subscribe, check out my Instagram, Sweeter Things Cookies, and I hope that you stay tuned for more. Check out my other videos.